You ever stop and think about that? About how everything you do online, it might just be there forever? That every single interaction, every click, creates this permanent echo of who you are, or maybe who you used to be. Okay, let's dive right into this because we're about to explore the ghost in our digital machine, our digital footprint.
It all starts so simply. You're just browsing the web, looking things up.
You're engaging with stuff, reacting, sharing a little piece of yourself online.
And every single one of those actions, all of it, leaves behind a trace, a little digital breadcrumb.
And that's the real question, isn't it? Because you can bet someone is always following that trail.
So let's get on the same page and really define what we're talking about here. What exactly is this footprint? At its core, it's pretty straightforward. Your digital footprint is basically the sum of your entire online life. It's built from every last piece of data you generate. But here's the thing, this trail isn't all the same. We really need to break it down into two different kinds.
So you've got two sides to this coin. On one hand, there's your active footprint. That's all the stuff you consciously put out there. The posts, the photos, the comments. It's the online personality you're choosing to build. But then there's the passive footprint. And this is the sneaky part. This is the invisible data trail that's collected in the background. We're talking about your IP address, the sites you visit, even your physical location. You aren't actively sharing it, but believe me, it's being gathered.
And all that passive data? Oh, it's not just floating around out there. It's incredibly valuable. So valuable, in fact, that it fuels a whole industry you've probably never even seen. So, welcome to the world of data brokers. These are companies whose entire business is collecting, analyzing, and then selling our data. They piece together information from public records, your browsing habits, your purchase history, all to build these incredibly detailed profiles on millions of us. They use them to predict everything from what we're going to buy to how we're going to vote.
And if you want to understand the sheer scale we're talking about, just look at this number. That's not the total number of profiles out there. Nope, that's the number of voter profiles held by just one data broker, Aristotle. 235 million. And all that data from just one company is used for everything from political campaigns to marketing.
And here's the crazy part. Even though this massive industry is humming along behind the scenes, most people are, well, they're not happy about it. This chart from Pew Research shows that a huge majority of American adults, 81%, feel the risks of all this data collection far outweigh any benefits. So we know it's happening, and we are not comfortable with it.
But look, this isn't just about getting targeted ads or privacy in the abstract. This is where that digital echo of your past can have very real and very high-stakes consequences for your future. Think about it like this. Your online self is now basically part of your resume. A Kaplan survey found that 2/3 of college admissions officers think it's totally fair game to check out your social media. The digital you could literally be the deciding factor in a life-changing opportunity. And this isn't just a hypothetical. Back in 2017, Harvard actually took back admission offers from at least 10 students who'd already been accepted. And why? They were found sharing some seriously offensive memes in what they thought was a private Facebook group. Even behind the closed door of a private chat, their digital footprint cost them a spot at one of the top universities in the world.
This all fits into a much bigger picture. When you look at this, you can see how our online identity creates these real-world ethical problems and major privacy issues, not just for us, but for organizations too. It's this complicated web where our little digital actions create some pretty big risks for everyone.
And it's evolving too. It's not just people looking at your profiles anymore. Companies are now using automated AI tools to screen job candidates. These systems can scan massive amounts of public data, your old posts, who you're connected to, even information that was leaked in a data breach, to make hiring decisions. And that just opens up a terrifying new door for potential discrimination.
So right about now, you're probably thinking, okay, fine, I'll just go clean up my old accounts. I'll just hit delete and poof, it's all gone. Well, unfortunately, it is not that simple.
I mean, first off, just finding all the scattered pieces of your digital footprint is a huge challenge. You can start by checking your password manager, searching through old emails for welcome messages, or looking at the apps connected to your Google or Facebook accounts. You can even use a site like Have I Been Pwned to see what old accounts were exposed in data breaches. Honestly, the number of forgotten accounts you find might totally surprise you.
But here's the real kicker. Hitting delete often just gives you an illusion of control.
Your data frequently stays right where it is, on company backup servers, in the databases of third-party apps it was shared with, and of course, forever preserved in the records of data breaches. The internet, as they say, doesn't forget.
And as if managing the digital ghosts of our actual past wasn't hard enough, there's a new technology emerging that can literally create a fake past or a fake future out of thin air.
We're talking about deepfakes. Using a really powerful form of AI, these tools can create hyper-realistic videos or audio that are completely synthetic. They can make it look and sound like someone said or did something they absolutely never did.
Now, they are getting better and better, but you can still sometimes spot them if you know what you're looking for. Keep an eye out for unnatural movements, like weird blinking. Look for any blurring or distortion, especially around the edges of the face, like where it meets the hair. Inconsistent lighting from one frame to the next and just awkward lip syncing are also huge giveaways.
But the damage these things cause is all too real. One victim said that a deepfake video of her was used as a weapon to try and silence her. And years later, that fake content still randomly pops up online. It's a wound that just never seems to heal, a digital ghost you can't get rid of.
Which leaves us with a final and honestly a pretty chilling question. In a world where your past is a permanent searchable archive and your face and voice can be perfectly copied by AI, who really owns your identity anymore? Is it still you, or is it just the data?